This is the Al-Maida Initiative, conversation without compromise.
Right. There has to be something deeper. So you can create a narrative,
Exactly.
but um, that's one of the difficulties you have in the Middle East right now. In general, is you kind of have these competing narratives about what life is about, what the Middle East is, what nations are, and no one ever really wins that, right? It's just my truth versus your truth
Hmm.
kind of thing. And unless you actually have something, so this is to me why this is kind of religiously interesting, is because I think personally that you have to have something transcendent above all of that to find a, like you're talking about one history book for all of Lebanon. So you've got to find the truth underneath people's versions of the truth if you're ever going to get anywhere.
Well, let me tell you personally, this is my personal opinion. I don't think that there is one truth in anything in life. There are truths. We are shaped by our personal experiences, and we see things through what we have lived, what we have experienced, uh, and to which extent we are willing to shape ourselves differently. So I don't think that there is one version of the civil war in Lebanon. There will always be several versions, and there will always be people saying that we were right when we did this, and we had no other choice, and this is truthful. And the opposite component would say the same thing, and you would also say that this is truthful from their point of view. This is also truthful. From the point of view of Palestinians who had the right to fight, they would tell you there is the agreement of the Cairo agreement, and from the opponent view, they would say they were acting in a very condescending way, and we didn't want that. We don't want war. We want to really focus on ourselves. This is also true. Who has more right than the other? I don't think that we can judge that because, in a way, there is this huge identity crisis that preceded that moment. What we can do is that when it comes to the truth is like to put them, and there is like, we are not the first country who has this kind of complicated political history to work with. And I think we have wonderful educators in Lebanon, and they suggested, if I'm not mistaken, to expose these truths in front of one another and leave it for the students to discuss and to discuss further and to agree on disagreeing sometimes and to agree on other things. But this requires like uh, a a certain ecosystem that does not have any of the political leaders we have here in Lebanon. Because even if you try to work that, if you are talking about an educational system in schools, even if you work on that inside the school, and you see everything around you and in the opposite direction, if you see political leaders on television playing on this kind of rhetorics and discourse of like creating tensions with the other, no matter who the other is. There is a tactique in Lebanon, political leaders develop strategies to manipulate audiences. And this is highly dangerous. No matter what you do on a smaller scale, if you don't work, do everything you can to go towards the direction of the downfall of the regime. And although we are all aware that afterwards the moment will be very difficult because you need to find an alternative, and finding an alternative is not that easy. Okay, whatever, no matter how you try, You will make changes. They will be great. Will they reach a stable moment? Will we be able to create um, a common identity? Are we solving the identity crisis? I hope so.
So I think I agree with about 70% of what you're saying, because I do really, really believe that it's important to sit down with other people and hear everyone's perspective.
Yeah, I didn't deny that.
No, you're right, right. No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying I agree with, right?
Oh, okay.
But on the other hand, right, the politicians, like what you're talking about is when one person is supposed to be prosecuted, then people from his religious group will come out and say, no, he's one of us. We don't support this prosecution, because they're living out their truth.
Exactly.
Right. So you have to. So yes, you need to hear everyone's perspective, but you do kind of have to have some common capital T truth.
Yeah, it's not that when if we are talking about the bombing of the 4th of August, there is a truth to that.
Right.
And we need to reach it.
Yeah.
But if we are going to talk about history, since it's past and it was not solved at its moment back then,
Yes.
we will always have truths.
Yes.
So this is the nuance between, yeah, I want the truth. I want the big T, the huge T, like the 10 meters T around what happened on the 4th of August, and who kept those nitrate dangerous products in the port of Beirut, and why all this happened. I want that truth 100%.